Welcome to the Sunday morning service for February 14th, 2021 from First Unitarian Church of Providence, where we love beyond belief. For today's service, while we are broadcasting live, we are not doing so from our meeting house. We are once again joining our participants from remote locations and blending those participants into a service for you. Our guest in the virtual pulpit today is Rabbi Sarah Mack. Rabbi Mack is the senior rabbi of Temple Bethel in Providence, where she has served since 2003. Rabbi Mack is the immediate past president of the Board of Rabbis of Greater Rhode Island and has served on the boards of a number of other local organizations. Rabbi Mack is one of the founders of the Rhode Island chapter of Sisterhood of Salam Shalom. She has worked with community partners to encourage interfaith youth dialogue between Jewish, Muslim, and Christian teens. We are pleased that she has been able to take time from her busy schedule to join us today.
Good morning. This is Nancy Worthen, and I'll be lighting my candle as a chalice. Please join me in lighting your chalice and reciting our unison chalice reading. This light burns also in our hearts, and it lights our path towards harmony, justice, and hope for all.
Good morning. I'm grateful to be with all of you today. We begin in prayer. Eternal God, we thank you for joy and delight, for wonder and awe, for moments of gladness and celebration. Grant us the ability to awake to beauty, to holiness, to the radiance that surrounds us. Grant us the wisdom to wake each day with passion and humor, finding light even in the darkness, so that we may rejoice in and appreciate the gifts in our midst.
Surprised by joy, no song can tell, no thought can calm us. Here we stand to celebrate eternal love, to reach for one another's hand. Beyond all the gifts is this best gift alone to mortals given, the love of a parent, of a friend, attunes our hearts to bliss of heaven. Faith, hope, and love here come alive. Life's deepest treasure is made known when in forgiving, giving all inseparably to are as one.
Today's reading is titled Let Joy by Alden Solovey. Let joy spread across your face, flash from your eyes, beam from your lips. Let joy quiet your heart, soothe your lungs, relieve your chest. Let joy flow through your bones, awaken your nerves, caress your flesh. For joy is in the dawn and the dusk, the silence and the great expanse, the flow and light from God's grace. Divine wonder and awe calling out to you, dear sisters and brothers. Awake, you slumberers, awake, you who sleepwalk through hours and days, blind to hope and love. Have you forgotten Sarah's laugh and Miriam's song? Have you forsaken Jacob's dreams and Ezekiel's visions? Have you succumbed to fear and shame? This then is God's command. Let joy hold you, carry you, burst forth from your words and deeds. Let joy take you from season to season. Dance and sing, celebrate and rejoice, lifting your life with exultation. Let joy be your light and your lamp. Blessed are you, God of joy.
Good morning, I'm Reverend Roger Peltier, and we are going to share the joys and sorrows that connect us. A candle of sorrow, A tour de force at age 100, Charlotte Brown is gone. With joy, I carry her enduring bubble of love. A candle of sympathy for the passing of Rhode Island mindfulness practitioner Joanne Friday, and with deepest gratitude for her teachings and wisdom that live on in us. A candle of healing for my mother-in-law, Bertha Rosenbaum, who was hospitalized after a stroke. Early indications are that its effects will be minor, but she is still being monitored in intensive care. A candle of healing for Mary Kohler, who is dealing with terrible, unexplained shoulder pain. Prayers, please. A candle of remembrance and love for the 24th anniversary of the passing of Jonathan Salisbury. Life ends, but love does not. Please continue to watch over me in the form of the dragonflies that grace my presence when I think of you. A candle of hope for Beth Ann Turney, who is in home hospice care and expecting a birthday next Sunday. Her contact info is in the church directory if you want to send your good wishes. A candle of gratitude for the wisdom, passion, and courage of Congressman David Cicilline and Congressman Jamie Raskin and all those who worked this week to restore and safeguard American democracy. A candle of joy. Judy Nylands welcomed her great-grandson Adrian Rio Hart into the world. He is the son of First U member Sherry Andre Hart and husband Joe Hart, now living in Worcester, Mass. A candle of joy to celebrate the birthday of our membership coordinator, Jen Nardone, which is today. And finally, not a candle, but a bonfire to commemorate a marvelous event in my life. 40 years ago today, I had the honor to marry the love of my life, my best friend, the best woman in the world, the most loving and caring person you can imagine. She's been my inspiration all these years, and hopefully we will have many more experiences together in this love fest. Thank you, Betty. You are the best. Love, Tom. Friends, let us rest in the gladness that we have each other to share our joys and our sorrows in this beloved community. It makes all the difference. Let us deepen into worship now by preparing our hearts for meditation and prayer. I'm going to offer some words followed by a time of silence. If you at home have lost someone in the past year that you're remembering this morning, please stand or raise your hand to participate in silent tribute of your loved and lost. The silence will end and the singing bowl will chime. To begin, I'm going to invite us to breathe together. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze if you like. Please take a deep breath. And again. On this Valentine's Day, we will let the Buddha's loving kindness guide us. Please say these words with me if you like. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be free from suffering. May all be well. May all be happy. May all be safe. May all be free from suffering. Let it be so. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Here we are in the middle of February. It's dark and cold, and we know that winter will continue for another several weeks. And yet, this snowy, ice-filled, cold, dark time of year finds a particular moment of joy and release on the Jewish calendar. We just entered the Hebrew month of Adar, and we learn the one who enters Adar increases in joy. This is a month for rejoicing, even as the winter and the pandemic drag on. So what is the celebration about? Jews around the world will celebrate the holiday of Purim in just 2 weeks. This holiday commemorates the escape from destruction at the hands of an evil man, Haman, who willed the genocide of the Jews of the Persian kingdom. The protagonist of this story is brave Queen Esther, who with her cousin Mordecai forms a plan to save the Jews of the kingdom. In order to do that, Esther marries King Ahasuerus, who himself is more clueless, selfish, and debauched than actually evil, but happens to take his counsel from a hateful man known as Haman. Haman plans a genocide, pure and simple, and his terrifying vision is foiled by the bravery of the good queen. And so each year we celebrate that triumph as we enter this month. In fact, I invite you to join us digitally for our Purim celebration at Temple Bethel, where as we remember this moment of history, we will actually laugh. You heard me correctly. We will laugh, hysterically even. We will laugh as we reflect upon this near destruction of the Jewish people. For Purim is a holiday that teaches us how we can laugh in the face of evil and darkness. The word Purim means lots in Hebrew, as in drawing lots. It is a reminder, one that we may feel we don't really need right now, that at any given moment, our existence is capricious at best. The response to this reality could be to cower in fear. It could be to pray solemnly and fast. But instead, we do the opposite. The message of Purim is that we engage in merrymaking anyway. The Jewish tradition teaches that it is not frivolous to feel joy in the midst of darkness and suffering. It is an act of resistance to celebrate. We must take time to rejoice, even and perhaps especially when times are difficult. On the holiday of Purim, our fears are masked. We're more than familiar with that these days, aren't we? We mask them on the holiday with costumes, with jokes, and even with drinking. It is a release to laugh in the face of darkness. Did you know that the word silly derives from the Greek word selig, meaning blessed? There is something sacred in being able to be silly. We learn that sometimes we need to let go of our inhibitions and laugh in order to count our blessings. So based upon the Purim rituals, there evolved a custom in Eastern European Jewish communities to celebrate any anniversary of escape from destruction. These special communal observances were called small Purims or Purim Katan. For example, there is written in history the Plum Jam Purim. In 1731, a man was accused of poisoning a jar of plum jam purchased from his store in Bohemia. Upon exoneration from the charge, his family set a special day, a special Purim, to commemorate that moment each year. Or in the city of Vilna, there is known the Powder Purim, a memorial day established for a man named Abraham Danzig and his family to commemorate their survival following the explosion of a gunpowder magazine in 1804. During this commemoration, we learned that psalms were read, a hymn was sung, and alms given to the poor in celebration of the family's miraculous escape of death. These smaller Purims pop up all over European history, even in Italy, where a Purim Katan, a small Purim, was celebrated for surviving the collapse of a school roof. If we look through history, we see that these celebrations proliferated in response to any deliverance from destruction, natural disasters, riots, political violence, plagues, and pogroms. These commemorations are modeled after the Purim holiday that we will celebrate in just a few weeks. A festive meal, donations to the vulnerable, and telling the story, sharing the narrative, and finding joy. What a wonderful concept that we can each celebrate our very own Purims. Certainly, I don't have to tell you that each of us are faced with challenges in our lives that leave us filled with gratitude when we realize that we remain intact in their wake. These brushes with disaster expose our mortality and our human vulnerability. Embracing joy is a direct defiance of the darkness of that reality. We learn that each time we overcome such obstacles, we can be filled with merriment and celebration in response. Take a moment and think of a challenging experience. Certainly, the last year has given us multiple possibilities. In fact, we enter almost one full year of pandemic as we approach this holiday of Purim. Think about a moment that at its worst seemed catastrophic, but worked out in the end. What are our own personal Purims? Based upon our life experiences, these moments of redemption may range from an I almost failed chemistry Purim to an I made it through chemotherapy into remission Purim. Certainly, each of us is looking forward to celebrating the I received my vaccination for COVID Purim. We can and we should celebrate these victories. The fear invoked by the light shined on our human vulnerability can be met with joy and celebration, because to be human is also to laugh and to experience gladness. Perhaps the most obvious personal Purim Katan or small Purim we celebrate each year is a birthday. No matter how we choose to celebrate, each birthday commemorates another year here on earth, whatever it may have brought us. Theologian Henry Nouwen writes, celebrating a birthday reminds us of the goodness of life. And in this spirit, we really need to celebrate people's birthdays every day by showing gratitude, kindness, forgiveness, gentleness, and affection. These are ways of saying, it's good that I am alive. It's good that you are walking with me on this earth. Let's be glad and rejoice. It is in that spirit that we remember, even on this cold February day, to celebrate the sweetness in our own lives. However momentary it may be, we savor every second of the joy we can find. As we go forth on this Sunday morning, may we learn to be silly, even in the midst of darkness and evil, and through our laughter, may we find redemption and blessing.
Sorry about that. I turned on my video, but not my sound. In this unusual time, when we cannot be together as we are accustomed, the work to fulfill the mission of our church continues. Our staff work harder than ever to support our connections as a community, and our efforts to create justice in the wider community continue despite the impediments caused by social distancing. The need for us to fund these efforts is even more important than ever. Please go to firstunitarianprov.org and click on the Give menu, then select Give to First Unitarian. On the next page, click on the button that says Give to First U. Just follow the word give. It will lead the way. As always, thank you for all that you give, all that you do, and all that you are. Today we have two things to mention in the life of the congregation. The first one is sort of more informational. First Unitarian Church of Providence is going to be making an effort to partner with area hospitals and the Department of Health to create a list of people currently eligible to receive COVID vaccines who may be available to receive unused vaccine doses at the end of the day. You'll probably be hearing more about this from Reverend Roger or the church office. In any case, stay tuned. Also, very important, today, we will be having a meeting of the congregation over Zoom at the very beginning of our Zoom coffee hour. This will begin at 11:30. Looks like we'll have a little bit of time for each of us to celebrate joy in our own homes before we join together for coffee hour, for the meeting and then coffee hour. So take a breath and celebrate joy once the service is over, and then join us. 11:30, this will be a special meeting of the congregation. At this brief meeting, we will consider a modest change to our bylaws in order to comply with IRS required wording to complete our certification as a 501c3 charitable organization.
There is an oft-quoted piece of Jewish wisdom from a book we call Pirkei Avot, or the Ethics of Our Ancestors. It goes like this: who is rich? The one who is happy with their lot. As we walk forward on this Sunday morning, may we too find the wisdom to proclaim that our lot is indeed enough. Whatever challenges we may face, may we reflect upon our abundance, and through the appreciation we find, go forth to repair our broken world.
We carry the flame of peace and love and hope until we meet again.